the surprising impact of gratitude on your spiritual journey. I want to tell you about something that completely transformed my understanding of what it means to grow spiritually. We're talking about gratitude, but not the kind you think you know. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good emotion. It's a doorway to presence, to the sacred dimension of ordinary life, to what some call divine connection or cosmic consciousness. And this is where gratitude becomes revolutionary, because genuine gratitude can only exist in the present tense. Instead of constantly scanning your environment for what's wrong, what's missing, what needs to be fixed, you become attuned to what's actually here, what's working, what's alive and beautiful and mysterious. When you're grateful for the food on your plate, you're acknowledging the sun, the rain, the soil, the farmers, the entire web of existence that made that meal possible. Every spiritual tradition has some version of this teaching. The Buddhists talk about being awake to reality as it is. The mystics speak of seeing God in all things. Indigenous wisdom traditions emphasize reciprocity and honoring the gifts of earth and sky. At the heart of all these teachings is gratitude, this recognition that life itself is the ultimate gift. I started experimenting with gratitude as a deliberate practice, and I want to share what I discovered because it might help you too. I began keeping what I called a gratitude journal, but I approached it differently than most people do. Instead of just listing things I was thankful for, I would choose one thing each day and really dive deep into it. I would sit with it, feel it, explore all the layers of appreciation I could discover. One day, I chose my ability to see. I thought about the incredible complexity of the human eye, about light and color and perspective. I thought about all the beauty I'd witnessed in my life because of vision. I thought about how seeing allows me to navigate the world, to read, to look into another person's eyes and feel connection. By the time I finished, I had tears streaming down my face. This thing I took completely for granted every single day suddenly revealed itself as an almost incomprehensible gift. That's when I understood something crucial. Gratitude isn't really about the things we're grateful for. A flower, a conversation, a breath, a moment of sunshine on your skin. These aren't separate from your spiritual journey. They are your spiritual journey. The practice deepened over time. I started noticing gratitude arising spontaneously in unexpected moments. As gratitude became more natural, I noticed that my sense of self was changing. The rigid boundaries of me and not me, mine and not mine, started to soften. When you're deeply grateful, the question of who is grateful and what you're grateful for starts to dissolve. Old resentments that I'd carried for years started to lose their grip. It's hard to hold on to bitterness when you're actively cultivating appreciation. This doesn't mean you become passive or accept harmful situations, but you stop being defined by your grievances. Gratitude creates space for forgiveness, not as something you force, but as something that happens naturally when your heart opens. The relationship between gratitude and abundance is profound too. This isn't magical thinking. It's about the energy and attention you bring to life. When you focus on lack, you create more experiences of lacking. There were days when it felt impossible, when grief or anger or fear were so strong that gratitude seemed like a cruel joke. For the fact that this difficult moment would eventually pass, for my capacity to feel deeply, for the people who loved me even when I was struggling. It's available even in darkness, maybe especially in darkness, as a light we can kindle from within. The truth is that existence itself is miraculous, that consciousness is the greatest mystery, that every moment contains infinite depth if we're willing to look. Gratitude is how we learn to look, how we train our attention to recognize the sacred in the ordinary, the extraordinary in the everyday. So I invite you to experiment with this, not because I say so, but because you deserve to experience the profound shift that's possible. Start wherever you are. Maybe it's just noticing 3 things each day that you appreciate. But even the first genuine moment of gratitude will show you something true, something that can guide you deeper into the mystery of who you really are and what life really is. And that journey, that awakening to the gift of existence, that's what the spiritual path is really about.